talk to you on a more hopeful note about the distribution. You said something very interesting in interviews. You said that there is an audience for these films. You can't apply the same formula you are. So what is the right approach to getting phenomenal films like this, the audience that we hope does exist and does want to watch them? How do you approach them?
See, like earlier we've done it in the regional world where I've done mostly in Telugu, so I can speak about that. Because it's only one state, okay, now it's 2 states of Telugu-speaking people, but it's a shorter audience to reach. So multiple screenings in that space, just going focused helps. I think with All We Imagine, we'll also discover how to do this in India correctly.
Yeah.
See, because ultimately you want to hear about it much more. It's not going to have flashy trailers like how the other trailers are and just bang you and say, here you go, buy tickets now, book tickets now, and go. That excitement is not what the cinema is here to create. It's word of mouth. It's how you see. Today we have one Mami that's popular and maybe one festival in Goa. But if every state has its festival and there's a provision to show these films over a period of time, I think that's the right way to do it, where people hear about it way in advance before you actually get to cinema. So I think we'll keep evolving that strategy. I think with All We Imagine, we've first said that, okay, organically it's Malayalam, so let's do the Malayalam release first, get it out in Cochin, then move state by state. And now we're in Bombay because that's organically the second language that's in the film. And I think we'll go across the country. And I think the film will somewhere tell us, see, like the screening in Kerala, like we were very unsure what that means. We didn't know how to release it. But the second we just put it in that screen, in 2 minutes it closed up the screening, and then they suddenly called and said, can we add more screens? So there is an excitement for it. That means there is a definite audience for it. We just have to go and find it.
Yeah.
So I think that's, and like I said, if you can find a way to create a habit, and all these fine people here are going to help us do that around from now on.
No, time for questions in a second. While I want to end with you, you've said that the title of your film obviously alludes to hope and possibility. You've said it's a title you took from your mother's painting, which is fair. It's a wonderful title.
There's also the Malayali title,
What is that?
Prabhayai Nindachadallam, which Prabha is the character in the film. So Prabha also means light. So there is a double word play with that. So for our Malayali audiences.
So I wanted to ask you about hope. In this moment, you've had this insane journey. There is such an exciting road ahead. Whether it's in terms of the film, the release, the experience, what gives you hope?
This moment now that we can release it, that's really like, I think the nicest thing. And I feel that the cinema is still a space that I really enjoy going to, and I feel that that films should get a release at least in the cinema. Even if they are independent films, we should find a way that you can go to the cinema and watch them. Maybe eventually they will come on the OTT, but just the act of going and sitting with strangers and watching a movie and crying in the darkness, that for me is cinema. And I hope that that it's we get more distribution for independent movies in the future.
Fingers crossed.
Hope for that.
I think we get him on mic.
What's your next? Are you going to be continuing with independent cinema?
Sorry, can you just
Okay, can you hear me? Okay. No, I was asking, are you going to be continuing with independent cinema, or are there other genres that you're going to explore? And what are your new projects, next projects?
See, I never say never. You never know where life takes you. And when you're an independent filmmaker, you try to take every opportunity to be able to make the film that you want to make. So I think that will always continue. The mode of getting there, we'll see. And hopefully it won't take this much time like last time.
It's a happy problem to have. You're still living the experience of this one. You're already on the place.
Yeah, but
Hi.
we have to think about that as filmmakers.
Hi Payal, I'm नीतू सिंह from दैनिक भास्कर.
Hi.
सबसे पहले तो आपको बहुत सारी बधाई. कांस फिल्म फेस्टिवल में पहली फिल्म इतने साल बाद इतना अच्छा उसने प्रदर्शन किया, उसके लिए आपको पहले बधाई.
धन्यवाद.
सो मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है, मैं थोड़ी क्यूरियस भी हूँ जानने के लिए कि ऑल वी इमेजिन एज लाइट में किस चीज़ ने आपको बहुत इंस्पायर किया, एक फीमेल आइडेंटिटी और अर्बन लाइफ को दुनिया के सामने लाने के लिए, ये मैं एक जानना चाहूँगी आपसे.
फिल्म इज बेसिकली अबाउट फ्रेंडशिप और जो फिल्म की जो कैरेक्टर्स हैं उनके बीच जो एक बॉन्ड बनता है वो बहुत मुंबई स्पेसिफिक बॉन्ड है जो हम अलग अलग स्टेट से यहाँ आते हैं और यहाँ पे अपना करियर बनाते हैं तो हमारी फैमिली बन जाती है वो उन लोगों के साथ जिनके साथ हम रहते हैं वी वुड नॉट हैव नॉर्मली मेट दोज पीपल बट दे बिकम आवर फैमिली एंड दैट इज़ one of the things that is very important to me in the film.
आगे आप और किस टॉपिक पे फिल्म बनाना चाहेंगे या आपने कुछ और सोचा है इसके बाद?
मुझे मुंबई को लेके बहुत ही इंटरेस्ट है और यही शहर पे और फिल्म बनानी है तो आई थिंक और 2 फिल्म तो बनेगी मुंबई पर.
मुंबई trilogy.
हाँ बिल्कुल.
Hi, Payal. I'm Prashant from NDTV. So my question is कि
There you are.
Yeah, hi.
Sorry, this light.
yeah, not a problem. So राणा ने बोला है कि वो इस तरह की फिल्में उन्होंने नहीं की हैं, इनका सिनेमा दूसरा है. So now are you planning to cast him in your kind of film or is Rana ready to do a film like that?
That's the first thing I asked.
Yeah, if he's willing, then I would be very very happy.
And one more thing, Rana, आप उनको कोई ऐसी फिल्म देना चाहते हैं जैसी फिल्में आप करते हैं या कमर्शियल सिनेमा? आर यू रेडी टू डू दैट, पायल?
Sir, our aim is to make sure this runs as well as a commercial cinema does, and then you'll start calling this commercial after this.
वो अच्छा होता ना.
So we're not going to see a Payal Kapadia mass movie anytime soon.
Arey, you never say never. Anything can become mass. As if, you know, it can. We hope for the best.
Hi, Payal. This is Priyanka from Midday. Many, many congratulations for this terrific win at Cannes. I wanted to actually take it from where Suchin said about, how so many of these independent films don't get released. And I think after your win, so many of the independent voices spoke up and said that there are immediate changes that are needed, in the landscape, whether it's from the government, kind of to resurrect NFDC, or to kind of issue grants, and for the industry to also kind of champion these independent voices. For you to be in the center and, taken this journey and come so far, what do you feel are the desperate change that the independent filmmaking landscape in India needs?
We can talk a lot about the independent landscape in India and how much support we need, and that is true. But people keep saying 30 years in Cannes and this kind of thing. That's on them, man. Like, we have great films and they should have selected more. So,
do you think that something like a grant, that's something which happens in a lot of other countries, is also something that the government or we as a country should look at?
we always had grants. Like, until a few years ago, there were grants, and especially there was also distribution that these films would get, whether it was shown on Doordarshan or, we could see films like that. So I think we need to have some way that people have access to funding, or at least if industries could meet each other, because to make independent films, it doesn't cost all that much. So if there is just a way to communicate with each other and find a way that films can be financed, no matter how big or small they are, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the more the films there are, the more diversity there is. It's just a thriving film industry, and we have it also.
Yeah, true. Yeah. But I think, recently what also happened was that a lot of people felt that how All We Imagine as Lies should have been India's entry for Oscars, should have been selected. I mean, it would have been a more appropriate, that's a majority voice speaking. How do you feel as a filmmaker? Were you also hoping for that? Did you feel hurt?
I mean, Lapata Lady is a great film, so I was just happy. Like, it's a wonderful film. All of us saw it. We loved it. I love her previous film also, Kiran Rao. So I was just happy that it's selected and it's the film that's going to go.
Hi, Akash here from Rana. I have a question for you.
Right onto the light.
Yes,
Awesome.
on the right. Yeah. So, I wanted to know that this isn't the kind of films that you've done earlier. So what convinced you to come on board for this project as a distributor?
So first, I think the first 10 minutes of the film, I was really blown. Blown with, first the performances of the actors. I was sitting, I remember I was watching the film with my wife actually, and I was just blown the fact, I was like, okay, this is a movie, this is not real. And I'm watching them perform. And and after a point, you're just being cynical. You're like, okay, they'll make a mistake somewhere. And they just did. it was so phenomenal. And I was like, to me, it was like just cinema class, theater class, everything happening at once. I was just so happy to meet her, just happy to have this in our kitty, really. And I just feel if we are able to show this to more people, more filmmakers, there's a certain taste that we can create for our audience. I think that's really a victory for us. Like, as I'm a fan of commercial cinema. I love movies. I love movies of all kinds, but this was very, very special. The first very moment I watched it. Like he said earlier, the first title sequence of this film has a few Mumbaikars speaking. I mean, it starts from there, and then the three ladies just blow you off after that.
Also, Payal, recently while Kiran Rao ma'am also told that, female filmmakers are not much properly, strongly represented in the, we can say that in the international film festivals also. Like, so can we say that with this film, this kind of film, and also with filmmakers like you, the change has begun? Now, more female filmmakers are coming up with their talent.
I think it is, I am part of those many female filmmakers whose films are now showing. So I think it's because of that movement that I am also part of it, not vice versa.
Thank you.
Hello, right at the back. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Adarsh from Bollywood Helpline. First of all, congratulations for the movie. And the title is also very unique. And my question is for Rana, sir. Sir, if ever a documentary is made on you, and you are given a chance, if you are given a chance to name that documentary, the title, so what title will you give it? Just like this movie has got a very unique title, what title will be for your documentary?
We will speak in 20 years from now. And I hope I achieve something proper, and we will have a documentary then.
But still, sir, if there's a title you want to give it, like 20 years later as well.
So I'm just trying to figure out the story of my life. I didn't yet set a title for it. My name is Rana Daggubati, and I think that's a good way to start it.
Thank you.
I think, okay, we'll have time for one more question.
Congratulations, Payal. Should I sit down? Sorry. Can you see me? Okay, sorry. So you make a film, and the film goes out, and then people start calling the film Indian, not Indian enough. What is an Indian film? Because at some point, is it because it's made by an Indian, it's funded by an Indian, it's acted by Indians? Is there an Indian texture that people are drawn to? Or are these just bureaucratic categories that we use for awards?
I mean, it's what is Indian is such a complex thing, no? Like, there are so many identities within this country. And what is that one identity that you could say makes it Indian or not is a mystery to me. I don't know. But, I mean, you have a film of, say, 𝐂𝐻, and more than half the country hasn't seen. So then, like, is that an Indian film? It's not, because so many people don't know it. So what makes it an Indian film? I think what the statement that you're referring to was a technical one, which had to do with what film gets submitted to the Oscars. And if the director is Indian, I think that makes it an Indian film.
I think with that, we will have to close it there.
Now that your film is gone to the Oscars from France, I just want to.
No, it's not gone.
It's
not gone from France. No.
okay. My bad.
So are you planning to?
It's released there, yeah.
Are you planning to take it there? Camping Oscars ke liye?
See, it's going to release in America
Right.
on the 15th of November.
Yeah.
If you have friends, please tell them. We'll see, because the distribution will decide then. Because once it releases, then they will
I
see
know
how it's
after
being.
all the जो जरूरी चीजें हैं उसके बाद they will decide.
हाँ,
there
मतलब
are
वो
few things
देखेंगे
here.
कि उनके लिए क्या अच्छा है, क्या लोगों को अच्छी लगी वहाँ पे, उस हिसाब से फिर we'll see.
Now we will focus on asking you for it, which I think, okay, yeah, but I've called it, I think.
Ah, okay.
So I just want to know any particular thing you want to say to your audience in the US about this film.
Watch it, it's amazing.
Yeah, please come to watch the film. I mean, even though the film is about Indian themes, I think it's also about big cities, and it's about like the mixed feelings we have as people who come to live in big cities and what those cities have to offer us and how they cause problems for us also. And that I think is a universal theme. And it's also a film about friendship amongst the women who come here. So that I hope that that resonates beyond our country's borders.
I think we will have to call it there. Congratulations on the insane journey of the film. Apart from the fact that we're all immensely proud, I think it's safe to say it's just getting started, and we look forward to everything the
Thank
journey
you.
has in store. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we're taking some pictures with you guys now. Yeah. Can we get the producers up as well for a picture? Your time to shine.
Sir, solo, sir. Sir. Rana, sir. Sir, solo. Sir, take single. Every time you want. Sir, कोई ना.